Hi students, this is the fourth talk under the heading Swasti Pantha Motivation Talk series. Uh, I am very happy that some students sent me message intimating me that I should continue this series further. They are very much benefited, they are very much interested, eager to listen to this type of talk in addition to mathematics. Therefore, I am continuing. Today I have selected a very special topic. Swami Vivekananda, my Guru. No doubt, Swami Vivekananda is my Guru, but I expect you also should read his literature, his life, so that you will be able to understand the tremendous contribution by Swami Vivekananda to the mankind. And definitely, you will take him as your Guru. If you read the literature related to Swami Vivekananda, that is the purpose. Let me make it very clear. To a person like me, it is highly impossible to give the clear picture of the life of Swami Vivekananda. My knowledge, my understanding about him is very, very limited. But I'm just adorer. I'm just a student. See, I want to be a student, disciple of Swami Vivekananda. So that's the only idea. And after this talk, of course, I have planned a few the series of talk. Definitely, you will be curious to know more and more about Swami Vivekananda. If that happens, so my purpose is served. Uh, Let me give the reason why I have selected this topic. One is every student of this country should know about this great personality. That's one thing. Second one is, see, in our day-to-day life, we use teacher and guru synonymously. And that means a teacher means guru, guru means teacher. That is a translation. But there is a difference. All teachers cannot be guru. For example, I am teaching mathematics, so I am a teacher of mathematics. I am not guru. So in India, we have a special position, special respect for teacher. So let me first clarify this difference first. So in Srimad Bhagavata, King Yadu goes to forest and there he sees a man who was wandering there and he was surprised to see him because he was very blissful, very happy without any worries, just wandering in the forest. So King Yadu asks him, so you are so happy, you are so blissful, what is the secret? And second one is, who is your guru? Because these virtues and should be inculcated by a guru. It is not ordinary. So Dattatreya says, I have two sets of teachers. One is Atman is my guru, or you say God is my guru. Second one is I have 24 teachers from whom I learned many things. And he says, Earth is my guru, air is my guru, sky is my guru, water is my guru. Like that, he keeps on. Sun is my guru, moon is my guru. Like that, he keeps on listing 24. Sometimes it's very quite surprising. He says 24. Python is my guru, honey bee is my guru, honey collector is my guru, bird hawk is my guru. Like that, it's totally 24. Even this list includes a girl by name Pingala who was a prostitute. So this is a thing. Very interesting thing is this. He says, from each 24 teachers, I learned some values. For example, from Python, he says, Python, lies in a particular place. It never moves actually. It is very lethargic, very lazy. He says, whatever comes its way, it eats and it is very happy. So it is not greedy. So he says, this virtue I learned from Python. And similarly, moth. So moth dies because of its foolishness. So he says, because moth is not able to control its indriya, so it dies. So I learned how to control our sense organs. So like this, he says it is possible to learn something from every person or everything actually, not only person, even including objects. So this is what he says. So there is a very interesting shloka in Sanskrit. Bhakvashi swalpasantushta sunidra shigrachetana prabhubhaktischa shurascha jnatavyashut suno gunaha. So the shloka says, even dog can be our teacher. We can learn 6 virtues from dog, it seems. Say, for example, the dog is very greedy, bhakvashi. It is very greedy, but at the same time, swalpa santushta. You see, if you just throw a few pieces of bread when the dog is hungry, the moment its stomach is full, it never looks at the food. So, swalpa santushta. So immediately it will satisfy its hunger. The moment it satisfies its hunger, it will not be greedy. So these two are quite opposite nature. That is greediness and contentment. Second one is Sunidra Shighra Chetana. See, these two are once again opposite. It sleeps well. At the same time, wakes up very quick. So these two opposite qualities. Prabhubhaktischa Shurascha. Prabhubhakti means loyal to the master. So it is very submissive also, loyal to the master, very obedient to the master, but at the same time, Virascha. Suppose the life of the master is at risk, it is ready to give its life to the sake of master. So that is the nature of dog. So the poet says we should learn these 6 virtues from dog. So in that sense, everybody can be a teacher. Even we are also teachers. Everyone is a teacher. But Guru is different. Guru is different. In Sanskrit, the meaning of Guru is explained like this. Gukaras tvandhakarastu rukarah tan teja uchyate andhakar nirodhatvat gururitya vidiyate. This is the shloka. Meaning, in the word Guru, the first syllable Gu indicates the darkness, it seems, and the second one Ru indicates light. So light dispels darkness. Therefore, Guru is one who removes our ignorance. Darkness means ignorance. So there are 2 types of ignorances. One is intellectual. For example, ordinary teachers will help you to remove the intellectual darkness. So they illuminate intellect. But the Guru is one who illuminates our heart. Guru is one who will become a guide and who will help all throughout our life, leading our life in a better way, in the right path. So that is the meaning of Guru actually. But it is very difficult to get Guru. It is not easy. So we can get the teachers, but it is difficult to get Gurus. Therefore, DVG says, Paramatattva Guruva Narasuvadentu Doretantu Nidhanya Mankutimma. That means it is not easy to get a teacher who is really knowledgeable, who really helps us to lead the life, who really removes the ignorance of all kind, so that we can be a better person. Therefore, we should search for a guru. And another interesting thing is this guru which I am talking need not be in the physical form present before you. See, in Mahabharata, you might have heard the story of Eklavya. He wanted to learn archery and he requests Dronacharya, but Dronacharya refuses. Then what he does, he prepares the image of Dronacharya, a clay model, and then he learns. This story definitely tells us that the Guru need not be in the physical form. We can take something as some person or some personality, some value as your Guru, and you can definitely follow. This is what the story says. So when I was thinking about this, I thought Swami Vivekananda is the right Guru for all of us. So I have read a few things about Swami Vivekananda right from my student life, and I was very much impressed. Even today also, whenever time permits, I read about Swami Vivekananda. Therefore, I thought I should share this idea with you so that you also will definitely take interest in this personality, great personality. And I am very sure if you read the literature related to Swami Vivekananda, definitely you will be motivated and your value will be better if you follow his ideas. So, with this intention, I have selected this topic. This will be a series of talk in future, at least for 3 4 sessions. Of course, it is not possible for me to give the clear picture of his life and his teaching, because I am not the right person to talk on this matter. I just respect him. Therefore, you are students, so to you I am just introducing. It is not a scholarly presentation, it is just an ordinary talk. But my idea is only the students who know much about Swami Vivekananda, they should be curious to know more. So that is the purpose. If you are curious and if you try to collect some books and read about Swami Vivekananda, definitely my purpose is served. Now let me tell you something about the Swami Vivekananda today. Of course, in the next lecture, let me tell something about his life and then teaching. See, once Rabindranath Tagore said, if you want to know India, study Vivekananda. In him, everything is positive and nothing is negative. See, his words are so powerful, so motivating, that whenever the students read his article of Vivekananda, definitely you cannot think negative. It's all positive only. So, the story, Swami Vivekananda goes to America to attend a conference called World Parliament of Religion, and all those things, the impact which his speech made on American people. After the speech, he met many intellectual giants there. Actually, all the scholars from university, then doctors, then engineers, then scientists, all are actually attracted by his magnetic personality. So one among them is William James, who is called the father of American psychology. He was very much influenced by Swami Vivekananda. And William James, he was also a philosopher, pragmatic philosophy. So he says, Swami Vivekananda is a wonderful speaker. So he was very much impressed by his oratical power. That's what he says. Then he says, it is an honor, Swami is honor to the humanity. So that is the comment. Second one, about this person, at least you know his name, Nicholas Tesla, physicist. See, he was very much impressed by Swami Vivekananda and he meets him several times, it seems. And he had a discussion with Swami Vivekananda regarding Indian Vedanta, that is Hindu Vedanta. So, and Swami suggests him, it seems, according to Indian Vedantic philosophy, there is no difference between matter and energy. So he suggests him, as a scientist, you try to prove that these two are one and the same using your mathematical tool. That's what the story says. Of course, he was not successful, that is a different issue. But very important for us is another personality, another great personality, J.J. Goodwin. See, this is the incidents actually. After his talk in Parliament of World Religion, Vivekananda becomes household name in America, and there were many followers, and they organized talks in various places in America, and his talk was very very powerful, very very impressive, and people used to gather there to listen to his talk. This I think you know. So the followers or disciples thought that there must be somebody to record his speech. Those days there was no recording facility, so they were searching for a stenographer, and this J.J. Goodwin is a very popular stenographer, and he was very costly also. But these disciples of Swami Vivekananda in America, they request him to be the stenographer for his speech, and he accepts it on payment. And within 1 week, after listening to his lectures, he refuses to take money for this work. And not only that, he becomes the disciple of Swami Vivekananda. He says, if Swami Vivekananda can give his life, at least what I can do is, I can give my service to him. Then, when Swami returns to India, he comes along with Swami Vivekananda, and whenever Swami Vivekananda goes for public speech, he goes along with him and records all his speech. And today, whatever work we have, we should be grateful to this great person, J. J. Goodwin. Unfortunately, he dies at the age of 27 in India because of typhoid fever. So this is the beginning. Just why I am narrating all these things. Swami Vivekananda is a great personality, and the contribution which he has done for the humanity is tremendous. And it is always, as an Indian, you should read his literature, and you should get at least some message, and we should try to inculcate some of his ideas in our life. With this purpose, I have started this. Let us meet in the next session. Let us start to study about the life of Swami Vivekananda and also about his teaching relevant to students in the future series. Till then, bye and take care.